The AYANEO 2 is a direct competitor to the Steam Deck, there's no denying it. AYANEO have been creating handhelds for a few years now and have nailed it on the head every time, especially with the AYANEO Air. Now they have built a bigger and more powerful device that can last longer, features a bigger screen, is far more comfortable and packs a serious punch. Though AYANEO are on a roll with product releases, it does make me hesitant to purchase one of their devices because it's typical for them to announce something bigger and better just a few weeks later. But in all honesty, that seems to be the trend within the handheld industry right now. They want to dominate the market and every inch of it as quickly as they can. Now, before I jump into the review, our second book, A Handheld History 88 to 95, has now begun crowdfunding. It's a new coffee table book dedicated to diving deeper into a specific time frame within the handheld industry. It's a sequel to our first book and features interviews with developers, community pieces, and a look at some weird and wacky handhelds of that time. Copies start from $39.99 and the campaign ends on May 5th, so grab a copy while you can. Now let's jump into the review. The AYANEO 2 features a Ryzen 7 6800U CPU and a Radeon 680M GPU partnered with up to 32GB of RAM. It has up to 2TB of storage and a stunning 7-inch LCD touchscreen display that's incredibly bright at 400 nits and is one of my favourite parts of the entire device. It has a resolution of 1920 by 1200 and a high PPI of 332. Honestly, it's stunning and it sits incredibly close to the lens with zero bezels, making it far more immersive and looks that tiny bit more modern. The face shows off the unique design surrounding the entirety of the device. It's rounded everywhere, making me wonder if they took design characteristics from Baymax from the movie Big Hero 6. The face is surrounded by the rounded glass lens, which moves around the buttons, something I haven't ever seen before, and it makes the device look incredibly futuristic. The left and right buttons are on what I like to call an island that isn't covered in glass, but instead a matte plastic. The analog stick sits high out of the console, giving you more control, with a strong grip and whole stick technology adding that extra hint of premium. These sticks also have LED lights behind them, allowing you to customize them to whatever color you would like. And below that is a very strong performing D-pad. It's comfortable and has a distinct feedback in each direction, making it an all-round pleasure to play on. Below that is your AYANEO button, which takes you directly to the custom AYANEO menu that allows you to tweak your console settings, outputs, fan speeds, and more. A look at the back of the handheld will give you a sense of the design. It's rounded on the back with large grips that fit my hands perfectly. My fingers curve up the sides of the device to be greeted by large flared shoulder buttons that feel great. Although I did notice that it cracks onto the back of the shell if pressed fully. I would have loved to see some kind of rubber padding here to remove the noise and add to the premium feel, but hey, this is a very minor flaw that is easily overlooked. Around the sides you'll find all of your ports and buttons. There's plenty to choose from and each are located naturally where you would expect. The on-off button can be a little cumbersome at times, not knowing between a press and a hold. One of my favorite ports is actually the SD card slot. I've never seen a door quite like this before. Instead of an old-fashioned rubber grip that always ends up breaking, they have added a door that you press and it opens out. Then when you're done, you click it back into place. It's small touches like this that show that AYANEO are looking at every tiny detail when creating a handheld of this caliber. Overall, in the hands, AYANEO have crafted a handheld that feels far more premium than the Steam Deck and looks as if it's been designed by angels from the future themselves. The weight is admittedly noticeable due to the large screen and large 13,000 mAh battery, but thanks to the thick grips, it can be used for hours on end. In terms of performance, the AYANEO 2 is one of the most powerful handheld PCs on the market as of making this video. So there's not a whole amount of consoles to compare it to. The best is to compare it to the Steam Deck, but the AYANEO 2 outperforms it by a long mile, coming in at approximately 30% faster in terms of performance, allowing you to push it that little bit further when playing your AAA games. But because it's so powerful, has such a crispy screen, it requires a lot of power input, and that is where things get a little tricky, because if you really want to push this console to the limit, you will only get a few hours of battery life out of it, confining it to a portable console that ideally stays in your home. Yes, you can tweak the settings and play smaller, less power-intensive games to stretch the battery life, but the reason you go for a console like this is to squeeze as much out of it as you possibly can. But when doing that, I found myself keeping an eye on my battery percentage for more than I would like. With great power comes great responsibility, and unfortunately, it's your responsibility to be near a charger when playing large games. But if you were to put that aside and realize that we're still early when it comes to creating CPUs and portable batteries specifically for portable PC play, then that's when you start to really love the AYANEO 2, because it is kind of from the future. It's the handheld I go to when I want a serious gaming session on the sofa, or to experience my favorite games in a new way while traveling. The AYANEO 2's performance is like no other, and I am in shock that I can take these types of games with me on the go. It's a big step in the right direction for the portable PC industry, and AYANEO is at the forefront of that, even if it sounds like a Harrier jet when playing intense games. I was playing Destiny 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and God of War natively on a handheld, albeit with custom settings, but in itself that is an incredible feat. This operating system does need a little bit of work. It can be buggy and slow at times, but it's well designed to help you understand and tweak your handhelds to your output needs. The home screen features your game library and access to settings. For example, I can tweak the output to up to 33 watts for Pro mode, or I can modify the saving mode down to 3 watts should I want to increase battery life when playing small 2D retro games. This OS takes time to get used to, but offers a wide range of customizations, from changing your fan speed to changing button configuration to modifying the colors of your analog sticks. At full-blown 33 watts on my device, I was getting around 1 hour of gameplay when playing games like God of War on a single charge, which admittedly isn't great, but unfortunately that's as good as we are going to get out of this device. The less strenuous the game, the more battery life you will get out of it. Small 2D games running at a very low output can stretch the battery life to 3 or 4 hours on a single charge. So this should give you an idea of the battery life range on a handheld of this caliber. It all depends on what you want to play. Overall, AYANEO have created one of the best handheld gaming PCs ever. They have combined comfortable ergonomics and modern minimal design with next level power. AYANEO are single-handedly innovating in the space far quicker than those who should be. If you want one of the most powerful handhelds on the planet, this is it. But unfortunately, it comes with very poor battery life. So there you have it, our full review of the AYANEO 2. I know it was a quick one today, but there is an article for you to read on our website should you want a little bit more information. And don't forget to help us make a handheld 88 to 95 a reality. At the moment of filming this video, we are on about 35% funded. So if you are into handhelds and want a cool coffee table book to be delivered to your door by the end of the year, take a look at the links below and grab yourself a copy. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.